Here are a few everyday habits that gently support your nervous system and help you to feel more regulated. So in life, we're constantly rushing from point A to point B. Life today is crazy. We've got so much on our plates, so much to do, so much to achieve in one day. Sometimes it really just helps to have a few micro habits that can gently help you to regulate your nervous system and feel more calm and steady throughout your day. Now, these habits should not be habits that are huge and unachievable. It should be small things that are easy to incorporate at any time to make sure that you are feeling calm and steady as you move through your day. And it's not about doing them perfectly. It's about doing them consistently so that you can signal safety to your body on a daily basis. Habit number 1, simply slow down your movements. We are living in a society of anxiety, where even just getting ready in the morning, everyday tasks, we feel anxious. There's like this rush in the bottom of our being. And this rushed feeling, this anxious feeling, makes us rush through any activity that we're doing. And I often think about it when I'm getting ready or when I need to leave the house because I have 3 kids. And in the height of my dysregulated state, when I was feeling like I was out of my body, like I wasn't present, like I had to achieve so much in a day that it was so important for me to do things that now I would say are not that important. For me personally, that morning rush, getting ready to leave the house, was an absolute nightmare. I hated it. And I realized that, let's say you've got 15 minutes, you have a certain amount of time that you need to achieve a certain amount of things in. I realized that doing things slowly and consciously actually made that time feel longer, and that when I was rushing and I was trying to achieve all of these things within the 15 minutes that I had, I would actually make more mistakes. We would leave the house, and my little one, at the time, he was quite little, and we were living in Europe, so we had big jackets to wear in winter. I mean, just getting that zip up when you're feeling anxious and your hands are shaking, getting his shoes on, speaking to this little thing in a way that's just, rush, 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 rush. It didn't feel good. It didn't feel good for anyone in the family, really. And I often found myself in this state. Everything was done with this anxious, rushed feeling. And I realized that those same 15 minutes, when used wisely, when I prioritize certain things, when I let go of things that didn't need to be done in that time that I could have done later or I could have postponed, and then just slowing down my movements and being more conscious and aware of what I was doing. So I didn't have that shaky feeling. I didn't have those shaky hands moving through whatever I needed to do. I felt that the time went slower and that I was capable of doing things in a more calm state, in a calmer state, than when I was rushing and my hands were shaking and making mistakes and trying to do so much in that time. It just didn't make sense. So try and slow down your movements. Try and be more aware of what you're doing. Prioritize what really needs to be done in that time and let go of the rest, because the rest you can do later. If it's not a priority in that moment, then don't prioritize it. And when we slow down our movements and we are just aware of what we are doing, we're able to center ourselves and do the important things with that awareness, to be more aligned, to be more stable, to be more grounded. And it's much more pleasurable doing things this way. Nobody likes to feel anxious. It's like a pressure, a weight that you carry on you. And it's not necessary. It really isn't. Okay, the second thing is to breathe with awareness. Now, this is something that we can do at any time of the day, is simply just become aware of our breathing. We live in a society as well where we tend to breathe with just the upper lungs, so in the chest area. And this is anxiousness just waiting to happen. Just simply slowing down your breathing and becoming aware of your breathing can be such a monumental step in regulating your nervous system and being in a calmer, more stable state. So what I started doing in the beginning, and what has helped me and my clients enormously, is whenever you feel like you're in that anxious state, just take a moment and start consciously breathing. I did make a video on this. There is a calming breath on my channel, so you're welcome to go and check that out. But basically, you just want to use the full capacity of your lungs by breathing in through the belly and then the chest, and then breathing out through the belly and then the chest. And this will help you to become conscious of the belly area, which is the lower part of the lungs. Your lungs actually are quite long and they end mid-belly, or just underneath your rib cage, shall we say. And when we use the entire lung capacity and we breathe in this conscious way, exhale longer than the inhale, we immediately stimulate the parasympathetic nervous system. We immediately get to a calm, grounded state that makes us feel more aligned and more capable to do what we need to do in that present moment. And this doesn't need to take long. You can literally do it anyway. I've done it in traffic, in the car. I've done it at work. I've done it, behind my computer. I've even done it in a shopping center. So it just goes to show that at any time you can stop. And even 3 breaths is better than nothing. So breathing consciously, being aware of how you are breathing, and just bringing that awareness back to your body, back to yourself, slowing down the breath, is one of the best tools that I can recommend to anyone who wants to live in a calmer state. Habit number 3, get lots of light and fresh air. We spend most of our time indoors. We go from home to the car, to the office, back to the car, back home, sometimes shopping centers. And especially if you live in a country where it is colder. Up north, I lived in Europe for a very long time. I do understand. We do tend to spend a lot more time indoors than we do outdoors. But I can guarantee you a 10-minute walk in crisp, cold European air is the most invigorating thing that you can do. So I recommend getting some sunlight and some fresh air for a few minutes a day. It doesn't take long. If you can remove your shoes, do so. If you can't remove your shoes, it really isn't a train smash. But just connect with nature. Go outside. Get that air. Get that connection with nature. Be around animals sometimes. It has a huge calming effect on the nervous system, on our psyches, on our mental capacity to handle the world and to handle life. For me, nature is a healing balm that I search for constantly, and I feel when I haven't been in contact with nature for a long period of time that I'm out of balance, I'm out of sync. So prioritize that, especially early in the morning if you can get into that sunlight. I had moments when I was at the height of my anxiousness where on my way to the car, I would just stop. And if there was a ray of sunshine, I would just stop and I would just open up towards it and let the sunlight in. And it was the most healing experience. And it lasted maybe 30 seconds, a minute maximum. But just being consciously aware of the healing effect of that ray of sunshine, or the earth underneath your feet, or some birds singing in a tree, the breeze on your face, anything, any way that you can get to have some pot plants to water in the mornings or in the evenings when you get home from work. All of this is just natural earth healing, and it's a beautiful, beautiful experience once you get the hang of it. So habit number 4, create small moments of stillness. Now, I know our lives are hectic. I know that we have so much to do and so much to achieve, and especially when you're a mom or a dad, and you have children and you've got a full-time job, creating moments of stillness can seem like a big task, but it doesn't have to be. Just like everything else that you schedule into your week, you can schedule in me time. You can schedule in still time. And this doesn't have to be long. If you're on your lunch break at work, you can go for 5 minutes and sit. And this is not time that you scroll on TikTok. This is not time that you spend on your phone. This is not time that you reply to your messages. This is time where you literally sit for 3 to 5 minutes and do nothing. Yes, I mean it. Nothing. Stillness. Find a quiet space and just sit. Just register what's happening in your body, in your mind, where you are in space. This is such a huge beneficial practice. It just brings you back into your body. It brings you back to yourself. A moment of stillness is so essential if you want to be calm, stable, and grounded. And you have to repeat this often in your life. It is something that needs to be done on a daily basis. I recommend to all of my clients to find moments of stillness in their day, because it's just like as though you're unplugging from the hecticness of life. We're constantly plugged in. We're constantly moving. We've got constant stimuli around us. It never stops, really. We're constantly rushing. And unplugging from that for just a few minutes at a time has got the world of benefits. Try it and let me know how it goes. Habit number 5, listen to your body's signals. And this plugs in, it ties in with everything I've said so far. Taking a few moments to breathe properly, taking a few moments of stillness allows us to be present in our bodies, to know what's going on. We rush through our lives in such an anxious state, and we're constantly moving from thing to thing. And then when we do actually have a moment for ourselves, what do? We pick up our phone and we start scrolling. So we're constantly distracted by outside stimuli. We're constantly out there and we're hardly ever in here. And this is one of the things that can be so beneficial, to just slow down, have that moment of stillness and notice what's happening. And I promise you, if you do this, you will find things within yourself that are actually signaling to you that you're out of alignment. So you might find that your shoulders are up here. You might find that you have lower back tension. You might find that your jaws are clenching. You might find that when you're driving your car, you're gripping the steering wheel. These are all signs from your nervous system speaking directly to you, saying, hey, slow down. You're taking on too much. You don't have to live in this state. Okay. And these things often turn into illnesses, chronic stress. Depression leads from this, from just being away from our bodies, away from what we're thinking and what we're feeling, constantly being out there and never being in here. So take those moments to listen to the signals that are coming from your body and then address those appropriately. Habit number 6, gentle movement. There is no other remedy better suited to living a calm, stable life, especially in the beginning when you start this journey, than slow, gentle movement. The reason for this is because when we've been living with a dysregulated nervous system, or when we've been living in this very anxious state for an extended period of time, we have a very hard time coming back to our bodies. We have a very hard time slowing down. And going from this rushing sort of way of life and then suddenly just sitting still and doing nothing can seem very difficult for a lot of people. So incorporating slow movement is a gentle transition from rushing and anxiety to actually finding a space of stillness in oneself. Now, I have created the Restore Method. I was a yoga teacher for more than 15 years. I've taught thousands of people how to slow down, how to connect with their bodies. And the Restore Method was born from this. It's movements that have been specifically designed and chosen because anyone can do them. Anyone can follow them, even if you've experienced an injury, even if you are slightly older, even if you have a sports injury, or if you've never done yoga in your life before. These movements are accessible to anyone. And I've seen the results of this time and time again. When people prioritize themselves, set 20 minutes or 30 minutes in their weekly schedule to slow down, to do slow movement, to breathe, to connect with themselves. By doing this, we stimulate the parasympathetic nervous system, which is our rest and digest mode, meaning that the body slows down, our tensions start to leave the body, we start to connect more with ourselves, we feel more centered, we feel more stable, we feel calmer. And when we leave our practice, that feeling of lightness, of feeling calm and feeling happy is quite pronounced. So when we repeat these slow movement practices and these breathing practices, and when we incorporate things like rest at the end of our session, in the Restore Method, I highly promote resting practices. There's a resting integration and then also a deep rest. There's even a faster one, which is only 7 minutes long, which you can do at any time of the day or even before you go to bed, which encourages us to just relax the body, to relax the muscles, to release the tension, and just be in our bodies in that moment. Highly beneficial practice. And for anyone who is looking to regulate their nervous systems and live a calmer, anxiety-free life, that would be my first step, is start to breathe and start a practice where movements are slow and controlled. It's also a wonderful pain relief, because often when we're holding on to so much anxiety, we carry a lot of tension in our bodies, and just moving slowly and with awareness can also alleviate this pain, especially for people who have desk jobs, who sit for long periods of time, or people who don't really move and so have pain or inflammation just due to the fact that they're not using their bodies correctly in everyday life. This kind of movement practice can be very beneficial here as well. So that's it for today. 6 habits that can help you live a more present and calm life, help you regulate your nervous system and be aware of your body and what's happening in your body every day. It's not huge things that need to be done in order to regulate your nervous system. It's small, tiny habits that can help you on a daily basis to get to where you want to be. So if you found this video helpful, then please drop me a like, comment in the comment box below. Let me know if any of these practices have been helpful for you. And if you don't want to drop me a comment, just a heart will do. It will help me to reach more people and get this message out to those who need it. And if you did like this video and you'd like to subscribe, please do so, because I'll be sharing more information like this in the future. Thank you for listening to my message today. I greatly appreciate your presence. I greatly appreciate you tuning in and watching my videos. And I wish you a beautiful day. Until next time.